And good morning. Welcome to Kelowna Now Live. I'm Jason Mann with Jim Check and your 5-day weather forecast and the forecast for the weekend coming up in just a few minutes. First off, our look at the headlines for this morning and a reminder that this morning, Highway 97 just north of Summerland will be closed again for about 90 minutes.
Or just south of Peachland. Depends how you look at it, however you're going.
Half empty, half
Again,
full.
from 11 a.m. to 12:30, so good time to have lunch if you happen to be on the road at that time. They do give plenty of warning, so you can plan your trips. I guess if you're just out there driving through and you don't know about it, then it's kind of a delay for you. But again, those closures will continue to happen, I guess, as they're making that road safer for everybody.
The North Okanagan food banks are receiving a funding boost from the province.
Needs never been greater. Food banks throughout the North Okanagan have received a significant funding boost. The province announced $15 million in funding for food banks across BC, and it's not that much when you break it down, but the food banks that were then distributed, including $33,000 to food banks in Vernon and surrounding communities, which broke down to $15,000 for the Vernon Salvation Army, $6,000 for the Armstrong Food Bank, $6,000 for Cherryville, and $6,000 for Lumbee. I know when needs that great, that's helpful for sure, but probably not enough either.
Usually isn't. Nancy Payne joins the list of a number of people affected by the new BC short-term rental rules, and she says she won't have a business as of May.
Yeah, so this was a story then by Canadian Press, and it's a long, long article, so you can go read it. We'll try to hit some of the highlights here this morning. So she is one of the leading, she's a super host here based in Victoria. She's the CEO of her company and co-founder. And she'd been in the forefront of the Airbnb revolution for about 7 years, acting as a liaison for homeowners, helping with logistics, running a listing on the accommodation site. She said at the peak of her business, she'd managed 65 properties, welcoming thousands of guests from around the world to what related that Victoria is the best city in the world. But now she's saying that she's probably going to have to lay off all of her staff and everything, and she's expecting her
15
business.
staff,
Her business is coming to an end here, but if things don't change as of May 1. And she said she's worked really hard at her business, and then it's just being taken away. Short-term rental managers like Payne across BC are lamenting the demise of their business model, while real estate agents say owners of investment properties are being forced to sell at a loss at risk of being unable to pay their mortgage. The BC Minister of Housing, Ravi Kahlon, doesn't sound that sympathetic though, said that shows that the policy is working and that Airbnb property managers just find new jobs.
Well, hopefully they all can find new jobs and afford housing in the future.
Maybe the housing minister should find a new job.
Yeah. It just seems like a cluster.
Anyway, it's a long story. Go ahead and read it. There is some comment there from Nathan Rotman, policy lead for Airbnb in Canada, and said the report is incredible and it was paid for by the BC Hotel Association with an interest in spreading negative information about short-term rentals. So who's going to win in this? Hotels for sure, because it takes away competition from hotels.
As we heard, there aren't necessarily going to be a return of these properties to the rental pools for long-term rentals in many cases. Maybe some in spec they will. But
I don't know where this all shakes out at the end, but I know that, I think if you were following all the rules and the guidelines and the zoning and all that stuff, I'm not sure how they can just take away your business that she's been working on for 7 years, right? And if they're outside the rules, then sure, you know what I mean. Like if they're outside the rules, but when you made the investment as well, and that's what the rules, that was the zoning, and then you're following all the rules, you're paying your fees and all that stuff. Like how
does anybody start a business with any confidence?
What if they decide tomorrow that well, grocery stores are making record profits. Why not just take them all over, right?
100%.
And start giving away the food for free. I mean, that'd be a good one, right? And
you're onto something, Jim.
Now, talking about something like that, business, we keep talking about inflation and all that stuff, but it's odd. Like grocery stores, record profits. Lululemon again, strong third quarter with increased demand and positive start to the holiday season. So again, net income for the quarter was $249 million, down from the previous year though. Of $255 million. Sales grew 19% to $2.2 billion. I mean, I buy a lot of Lululemon. I'm guilty of it for sure, and their prices have gone up. So if corporations are making large profits, inflation's still a problem. why not just maybe cut your margins a little bit and help the consumer out, because the consumer is suffering.
I guess, as you've put it before, high
right?
prices will fix inflation at some point.
Supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just wanted to take a look at some in the financial stuff too, because we're seeing, like, the media in the newsing a lot, and we've got some charts here to show you just how media has been. This is Chorus Entertainment, and that's Chorus, which is global TV, and how much. That's a 1-year chart, and then if Nick, you can pull up their 10-year chart, and you can see over 10 years, like, media is really, really suffering. I don't, and I'm, again, Bill C-18's hurting everybody, but also taking government handouts has actually probably taken the trust away from media, from the people. And people are, like, I've never seen since like, like there's a lack of trust, including in all media, including ourselves, ever since COVID and that stuff too. Like, there's been a less trust in government, less trust in media. And I'm not sure, like, how to fix this, but I think giving money to media by the government, I mean, if they're going to give it, they should give it to all, because we get zero.
Yeah.
And then Glacier Media, if we could pull that up too, which is Glacier owns Castanet as well, and that's a 1-year chart of them. That stock is hurting about. If you pull up a 10-year chart of it as well, I mean, that's
as close to zero as you'd want to get.
Like or close to $5, and now it's like, like, it trades no volumes if you look at the volumes there too. And again,
whereas on the other one you saw a lot of volume, but I'm guessing those are panic sales.
I think again, we need trust in media, but we also need community support for media. But then the media needs to serve the people. Media's main job is to hold power accountable.
Ask the tough questions.
And I don't think we've done a great job of that. We don't get to ask a lot of the tough questions. We don't get access to Justin Trudeau, even when he comes to visit here. We're told we're not allowed to ask questions. I think we got to go to the last one where we were allowed to take a photo.
Even on the provincial side, it's pretty tight. Locally, the local politicians have been really good.
We do get the opposition parties, though, obviously. We had Kevin Falcon in recently. We've had Pierre Poilievre a few times.
Renee Merrifield and
stuff like that. Access to politicians should be open to the press. And I think our main function is to hold them accountable, whoever's in power. And I think this shows this lack of trust in advertisers, and obviously, like Bill C-18 is not helping us as well. So
yeah,
but yeah,
that's the state of the media industry there.
There you go. Bell, but Bell Media has also, you worked for Bell for a long time. Bell Media also is a telephone company or a mobile phone company. I don't know about telephone.
And that's the biggest driver.
That's their biggest. Yeah. I mean, they also own some big properties and stuff like that as well.
But compared to media is just a small fraction of.
There you go. And 5 things you need to know today.
Yeah.
We picked one of them out. This now looks like a big fight between Elon Musk and Bob Iger, and it's getting nasty, right?
Yeah. Well, first Elon says GFY, and now he's saying Disney's CEO Bob Iger should be fired.
Yeah, there was a bunch of stuff also out there that showed that there was a bunch of sexually explicit ads that were being shown on Facebook or Meta and Instagram, and next to Disney ads and stuff like that. And so, and Elon's like, "Well, why are you still advertising there?" So I opened up a can of worms, and I don't know where this all shakes out, but Bob Iger did come out and say in that same talk with the New York Times that Disney is going to get back to entertainment and not about political statements, because he said they kind of got lost in that. But 2 years prior, he said that they're going to focus on political statements. But I mean, you look at their stock chart too. I can pull that up. You can see that hasn't worked in a lot of their movies.
It sounds like they're having their Bud Light moment.
Yeah, a lot of their movies have been flops, including the last 2 that just came out, Marvel one and The Wish. So I think, stick to what you do. There you go. How's the weather? Oh, no, we got a little bit of sports stuff here, and just confirming that Kelowna's Tyson Juggernaut leaves the NCAA for the WHL. So there you go. He's officially signed with the WHL Portland Winterhawks. There you go. So we'll get to see him play in Kelowna.
All right, that's
when
exciting.
When he plays the Kelowna Rockets at some point. I don't know when that first game is. with Kelowna and whether he'll be in the lineup, but there's hope anyway. So
We'll be looking out for him.
there you go.
And Kelowna's 5-day weather forecast for ATB Wealth. Realize your vision of wealth at atb.com/wealth Kelowna. We have, a beautiful day on the start. We're going to see a high of 2 degrees, mix of sun and cloud, and maybe a little bit of rain, which may turn to snow flurries later on as well. And let's take a peek out that weather window right now. The sun on the hillside is just gorgeous.
That looks
this morning.
pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's epic. And up at Big White, we've got lots more snow. They had 20 centimeters yesterday, and I imagine a bit more recently as well. And on the way, we'll see in our 5-day forecast here shortly that there's plenty more snow where that came from.
They did open today as well.
Yeah, that's right. Today is.
I think they have a few runs open. So
This is the Gem Lake view here. And next week, we'll be starting up with weather and
Big White snow report.
Ski reports at Big White, yeah. But if you are on the roads, just a quick snapshot of what's happening at the summit of the Coquihalla there. As you can see, it is truly winter driving conditions once again. So be safe on the roads. Now, our forecast for the weekend looks like we have snow on the way tomorrow, rain and snow for Sunday, a mix of sun and cloud for Monday and Tuesday. Very much a wintry weather forecast for the weekend. So stay safe out there.
Temperature's still mild though.
Yeah, very mild.
I mean, it's still get out there and rake those leaves.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway, be safe, and we'll see you again at. We do have Ron Cannon coming in today at 2 p.m.
Might have a couple of live stream shows to catch later on today.
And then we have our news again at 4 o'clock every day at 9 and 4. You can count on us.
Oh, we should also mention we're kicking off the 13 days of Christmas today. We actually have some video we need to take a look at as well. Our first day of Christmas is today. It's Pearl's Furniture, and we're just getting the site. So when you come to KelownaNow.com, you're going to have a chance to win a $500 gift card for Pearl's Furniture. There's Marcy there. Went out to Pearl's yesterday to check out the showroom.
Where is Pearl's?
It's just off by Dilworth there in the one of the complexes there by
nice.
Dilworth. Yeah. So not too far. And they're relatively newer in town. They have locations in the Lower Mainland. But if you haven't been in, got to go check them out. Say hello to.
Well, that's the bed I've always wanted. That
Summit
bed that
and
kind
Kern.
of like does that folds up there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
watch TV.
We
I
have
thought you
that
have to be
one.
old to have that. I love those wooden tables too. There you go. Beautiful.
So $500 to spend there is on the offer. All you have to do is head over to KelownaNow.com today to enter to win. You need to be a Kelowna Now newsletter subscriber in order to win. So it's a special perk of being a subscriber to get in on these prizes. But over the 13 days, it's going to be over $5,000 in prizes to get your hands on. So good luck. Enter for everyone, and we'll be making announcements in due course.
So that launches today?
That launches today.
Awesome. So there you go. Until 2 p.m. or even earlier, we might do something else today, but this looks like a beautiful day, though.
Oh, it's going to be a great day.
Amazing out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Enjoy your day, and we'll talk to you later.
All right. Safe. Be safe.